Here are 5 important settings that you need to know about your Subaru, not only because they have an effect on how your car will drive, but also impact how you experience your car. You want to have the best experience driving your Subaru, and so today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 key settings that you need to know about. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Alex. I share tips and tricks all on Subarus each and every week. So if you enjoy those types of videos, consider clicking that subscribe button down below. And as always, if you guys have questions, leave those down below. I'll do my best to answer those for you. The information I'm going to share with you in today's video is going to be applicable to 2020 and newer Subaru models that share this larger touchscreen display. Now, even if your Subaru does not have this large display and it's a 2020 or newer, chances are it has these same features. So if you have specific questions on your model, leave it down below. I've likely made a previous video talking about that on your car, and I'd be happy to share that with you. The first setting I want to show you guys has to do with your adaptive cruise control. First, what is adaptive cruise control? Well, if you set your cruise control at 60 miles an hour down the highway or whatever speed you set it at, I think 90 is the highest you can set this at, by the way. Don't ask me how I know that. But it works with your eyesight cameras up here. So these eyesight cameras, there's 2 of them, and some Subarus now even have 3 just below the rear view mirror here. Those will look out for cars and pedestrians out ahead. And so whenever you set that cruise control, it will adapt to the car out ahead. So if they're going 40 miles an hour and you have yours set at 60, your car is only going to go 40 miles an hour. It's just going to pace behind that car until they get into the other lane and get out of your way, and then your car will accelerate back up to the speed that you originally set. But that is the basics. That is how your cruise control works. Now, how do you operate it? How do you set this up? You click this button on the top right. So that's your cruise control button. When you click it, you'll see your car pop up and there's lines out ahead. So those lines represent the distance at which you are from the car ahead of you in seconds. So if you click down, that decreases the distance. So 1 line, 2, 3, and 4, it incrementally increases the distance and the gap between you and the car out ahead to whatever you are most comfortable with. And you can adjust this on the fly while your cruise control is set. So to set this, you're going to click this, make sure that's on, just like that, and then you click down to set your cruise control speed. Now, if you're somebody that does not like the adaptive cruise, but you still like using cruise control, you can opt out and not use the adaptive cruise control. And the way to turn this off is to simply click and hold either the up distance arrow or the down distance arrow. So it doesn't matter which one, we'll click and hold, and it will turn this off. Now, as it is right now, whenever you turn your car off and turn it back on and you go to your cruise control, it will default back to your adaptive cruise control settings, but it takes just a quick second to turn it on or off with the up or down arrow like I just showed you. We're gonna get out here on the road. I'm gonna show you guys how this works in practice, but I did wanna share one other thing with you guys. So the minimum speed that you can set your cruise control at is 20 miles an hour. So whenever you set it, so you click down to set, 20 miles an hour is going to be the minimum. If you click up just once or click down just once, it's going to move up 1 mile an hour or down 1 mile an hour. Now, if you click and hold it up, it's going to jump up by 5 mile an hour increments. So that's how this switch works right here. You also have a lane centering button. I'll go over that in a little bit more detail here in just a moment, but when this is turned on, you will see it light up and say ready. When you activate your cruise control, that will work with those cameras up there. Look for lane markings on the left and right and keep you centered. You still have to keep your hands on the wheel. It's not self-driving, but it just helps guide you when you are driving on the highway. So we're cruising along here right now. We're going 53 miles an hour. We're gonna set the cruise at 60 just to get up to speed with everybody else, or maybe just a little bit above that. So we're at 66. The car in front of me is going a little bit slower. They're going about 63. And so you can see that there on the dash. So it's pacing behind that car. I've got a 4-second or 4-line gap between us. If I want to decrease that distance, I can just click down right here. It's going to speed my car up. I'm going to decrease that gap between myself and the car out ahead. You'll also notice right now the lane centering is on. And you'll see it's yelling at me there. It doesn't do any beeping or anything, but it'll tell you initially, it'll just light up on the dash when you don't have your hands on the wheel. So whenever it doesn't feel that driver input, it will actually notify you on the dash to put your hands back on the wheel. So again, I'm not encouraging to drive without your hands on the wheel, just showing you how this works. And you know, I still have my foot down there by the brake, but it's doing it all for me, just making for a better driving experience, especially when going on long distances. Oftentimes when you're using adaptive cruise control and the car out ahead has slowed you down and then they get out of the way, your car is going to speed back up to whatever speed you originally set. So if you set your speed at 60, they're going 40. When they get out of your way, get into the lane, get off the exit, whatever it may be, they're no longer directly in front of your car. Your car is going to accelerate back up to the speed you set for your adaptive cruise control. Now, you can set and adjust the acceleration, how quickly you want your car to accelerate. You can do it in the settings very quickly and easily. You click on the car settings here. Under Vehicle Control, Cruise Control Acceleration. This is how you change the acceleration characteristics. If you do Eco, it's going to be very slow acceleration whenever that car gets out of the way. If you do Dynamic, it's going to be much quicker. Now, if you want somewhere in between, you can do Comfort or Standard. You can kind of play with these and figure out which one is most comfortable for you. This car has the lane departure alert, so whenever you go outside of your lane or getting to the edge of the road on the left or the right side, when lane markings are present, you'll hear it beep and it'll tell you on the dash that you are departing your lane. If you want to adjust or fine-tune those settings, you can go into the car settings on the lower left-hand portion of the screen, click on Driving Assistance and Lane Departure. Click on that. Right now it's set to buzzer only, but if I want to have both the buzzer and the lane departure prevention function turned on, that's the feature that will try to keep me inside of my lane even when cruise control is not set. I would click all functions. So what we just experienced a moment ago is just the lane centering with the adaptive cruise on. But if I want this lane keep assist to be on consistently, even without adaptive cruise turned on, you click it over here and you'll see two little gray lines there, and those will light up white when those lane markings are present. It's locked on and it'll kind of guide and keep you centered even without your cruise control turned on. So our lane keep assist is turned on right now. Those gray lines just lit up white, so it's active. So even though my cruise control is not on, it's still kind of bouncing me back and forth, keeping me centered in my lane. But that is the difference between the lane centering and the lane keep assist. So a lot of people get confused by the two because they almost do the exact same thing. One works without cruise control, the other one only works with cruise control. So this is your lane centering. This is lane keep assist. That's turned on in the settings over here. Another one is blind spot monitoring. That is when your mirrors on the left and the right side light up when you have somebody in your blind spot coming up. So that is a feature that is not standard on all Subarus, but it's optional on many. And once you get into the higher trim levels like the Limiteds and the Touring trims, it does become standard equipment. And to turn that on and off, it's right below the lane departure settings right here under rear vehicle detection. If your car has the blind spot indicators like I just showed you on the side mirrors, within that rear vehicle detection, it also has RCTA, which stands for Rear Cross Traffic Alert. So whenever you put the car in reverse and you have a car coming from behind you, a person walking with a grocery cart, maybe somebody on a bike, a kid on a skateboard, it will audibly notify you. So you'll hear a beep and it will tell you on the dash that somebody's back there. Now, some cars even come equipped with what's called RAB, or reverse automatic braking. This particular Subaru does not have that, but some of them even go an added level and add that reverse auto braking. So whenever you are backing up, not only does it beep, but it'll also apply the brakes if you get too close to an object behind you. This next one is one that I use every single day whenever I drive my Subaru, and that is auto vehicle hold. What does auto vehicle hold do? This is a system that whenever you come to a complete stop, it will allow you to take your foot off the brake. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, say you're in stop and go traffic, or you're at a long red light or waiting for a train, you want to be able to take your foot off the brake so you're not cramping up your leg. And so to activate this, you simply tap right here, you give it some gas and go. It's going to light up green right there telling you AVH is on. Whenever you come to a complete stop, so you put your foot firmly on the brake, you'll see it flashing. So that's what it looks like on the newer Subarus. If you have an older generation, it may not flash, it might do something a little different, but the concept is the same and the technology there is the exact same how it works. So my foot is off the brake, the car is still in drive. This makes it easy for me to give it gas and go, to move quickly so I don't have the guy behind me honking his horn whenever I'm trying to get it from park into drive. So to release the brake, you simply give it some gas, it releases instantly and you're ready to go. Now on the newer ones, they added a software update that allowed you to add a shortcut. So the shortcut is sometimes a little bit different depending on the year and generation you have. For 2020 through 2022 Subarus with this touchscreen display, the AVH or auto vehicle hold button will be right down here by your auto start stop button. And to move it, if you have one of the newer ones, to move it, you click and hold this and you're going to move it over here. So it's set up a little bit different on the 23 and 24 models, but it's still easily accessible. You can customize where you want it and you can put it right here on your home screen. If you're like me and you really like this feature, it is important to know that whenever you turn the car off and you turn it right back on, so every time you restart the car, it unfortunately does turn off as well. So to turn this back on, you click right there. The only Subaru that will allow you to default this on each time you restart is the Subaru Ascent. And the only common denominator, or the only reason why I believe that is because the Ascent is the only Subaru that doesn't have auto start stop. I know auto start stop is a very hot topic when people get any modern car, and especially in Subaru. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well and share with you what it does and how it operates. So your auto start stop on off switch is right here. The way this works, whenever you are driving, so you've got it in gear and you come to a complete stop, the engine will shut off. So it's shut off right now. Now this only happens in what they call ideal situations. What is an ideal situation? Well, the car, through a number of different things, checks for climate control, checks for engine temperatures and things like that to make sure that it is okay to shut the engine down. So for example, if it's really hot outside, you have your AC blowing on high and your interior cabin temperature has not been met by whatever setting you set over here, your engine's not going to shut off. Or if you just started your car on a cold start, when you come to a complete stop, it's not going to shut the engine off in those situations because those conditions haven't been met. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy between this system, how it works, if it's going to wear out your starter, if it's actually beneficial, and a number of different things like that. I'm not here to argue those points, but what it is designed to do is to decrease emissions that are being put out into the environment, and that is a big push. That's a big thing for Subaru. They want to do things that are going to be better for our environment. And additionally with that, you do save a little bit of gas. And whenever you have auto start stop going, it's going to calculate in seconds and ultimately in minutes how long the engine has been shut off and how much fuel is being saved. And this will calculate cumulative over however many miles you drive. So in a recent video, I talked about this, and I forgot how many miles I had, but I had a number of thousand miles on it, and it showed how many gallons of gas I had saved over that amount of miles. Just like our auto vehicle hold system, the auto start stop system does default to a specific setting. Now, instead of defaulting off like auto vehicle hold, this defaults on. So if you turn it off right now, this will stay off for the entirety of your trip. So if you don't like that feature, just simply tap. It takes a millisecond to do it. And then if you restart your car, you stop on your trip, you're getting gas, you're getting food, whatever it may be, and you restart the car, it's going to light up green again, telling you that your auto start stop is on again. The last setting that I want to share with you guys today is called X mode. A lot of people see this, they've never used it, maybe they've never heard of it, and it's a point of confusion. So what is X mode? Well, this works with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system. So all four wheels on the Subaru are moving equally, but if you have it in X mode, it's going to divert that power to efficiently find traction. So for example, if you're driving up a steep hill, it's snowing, it's raining, whatever it may be, and your right front wheel is spinning, when you have X mode turned on, it's not going to continuously spin your wheel. It's going to stop the power at that wheel, and it's going to divert that power to the other 2 or 3 wheels, whichever ones have traction. So to turn this on, Subaru gives us a really easy way to turn this on and off now. From your top screen here, you can access it just by simply clicking the right arrow over to X mode. So X mode, you only use it whenever you've lost traction. It only works at 25 miles an hour or less. So if I turn this on and I'm driving, if I exceed 25 miles an hour, it goes in standby mode. So it turns it off automatically for you. And then once you get back in within that 25 mile an hour speed, it will turn that X mode back on in the event that you lose traction. So while not many people use it often, if you know you're going to be driving in a slippery situation, it's raining, it's snowing, you're on steep inclines, it's a nice feature to use. In addition to helping you find traction, X mode has a second function. It's called hill descent control. So you'll see this little green car that is going down a hill on your dash, and hill descent control will apply the brakes up to 12 miles an hour for you as you're going down a hill. So the way you would use this, if you are on a steep hill, when you get to the peak or get to the very top and you're about to go down, come to a complete stop, gradually let your foot off the brake and you will feel it slowly auto brake and go down the hill for you, allowing you to focus on keeping your hands on the wheel. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and learned something new. If you have questions, as always, leave those down below. If you learned something and got value out of this video, please remember to click the like button. That helps me out a lot. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one.